We deserve a cut. It's family money. My sister-in-law spat when my in-laws found out I'd been promoted to a C-level position. That's reasonable, my husband added. You're right. Let's be fair, I smiled. The next day, they all panicked. What have you done? I never imagined I'd end up here. I never thought the man I married, the man I trusted and loved, would turn on me like this. But here we are. I'm 34, working in tech in Austin, Texas, and I've spent the last decade climbing the ladder from the bottom up. Late nights, skipped holidays, constant hustle, whatever it took to stand out. And it finally paid off. Last month, my boss called me into a meeting. I was offered a promotion, a huge one, a C-level position with a salary that would triple my income overnight. It was more than I ever thought I'd make in my lifetime. I was ecstatic. I told my husband Cameron, who was 36 at the time, as soon as I got home. I expected him to be happy for me, and at first he was, or at least he pretended to be. But something changed over the next few days. He grew distant, weird. I figured maybe he felt insecure about the fact that I'd be making so much more than him. He'd never been the ambitious type, and I'd always been fine with that. I believe in partnership. Then he hit me with, "My mom wants us to come over for dinner." I should have known something was up. I walked into his parents' house that night, expecting a small dinner. Instead, I found his entire family waiting for me in the living room. His mom, dad, sister, brother-in-law, 2 cousins, and an uncle, all sitting there, staring at me. It felt like a setup. Cameron sat next to his mom, avoiding my eyes. His mom, Hannah, was the first to speak. "Sweetie, we all wanted to talk to you about your new job." I nodded, waiting. "We think it's wonderful, of course," she continued, "but we also think you should reconsider taking it." I blinked. "Reconsider?" His dad, Tom, chimed in. "It's just, this job is a lot of money. And it wouldn't really be fair for you to keep all of that to yourself, would it?" I stared at him. His sister, Paisley, smirked. "That money should support the whole family. You don't need all of it." I looked at Cameron, waiting for him to say something, to defend me, tell them they were insane. Instead, he nodded. "Yeah, babe, it's only fair." Fair. I felt my heart start to race. "You want me to, what? Hand over my paycheck?" Paisley rolled her eyes. "Not all of it, just enough to help out." "Help with what?" My voice sharpened. Hannah clasped her hands together like she was about to deliver great news. "Well, honey, since you'll be making so much, you could help pay off our mortgage, and Paisley and her husband need help with their student loans, and your father and I are looking at vacation homes, but the market is just crazy right now." My stomach dropped. "Oh, and Tom needs a new truck," she added. Tom nodded. "My old one's about to give out." I turned to Cameron. He still wouldn't look at me. I took a breath. "Let me get this straight. You all want me to take my new salary and fund your lives?" Paisley shrugged. "Well, yeah," Cameron finally spoke. "Come on, babe, you know we'd do the same for you." I laughed, out loud. Would you? Would you all really? Because I've never seen any of you lift a damn finger for me." Hannah gasped as if I'd slapped her. "That's not true," she protested. "We're family, and family helps each other," Tom added. I stood up. "You know what? You're right." They all looked at each other, confused but pleased. They thought I was agreeing. I smiled. "Let's make things even." Cameron and I had a joint savings account. Huge mistake. Over the years, I had put way more into it than he had. I never cared because I thought we were in it together. That night, as soon as we got home, I sat on the couch while Cameron went to shower. And then I transferred every single dollar of my contributions, over $45,000, into my personal account. Then I made some calls. His car? I paid for it. The loan was in my name. I had it repossessed. The credit card he'd been using freely, assuming I'd keep covering it? Frozen. The mortgage? I made sure my name was protected. By morning, Cameron's entire financial world collapsed. The first call came from Hannah. I ignored it. Then his sister. Then Cameron himself, screaming from the bathroom, "What the hell? Where's all my money?" I sipped my coffee. By the time I checked my phone, I had dozens of missed calls and texts. From Hannah, "How could you do this to your own family?" From Paisley, "You selfish bitch. You humiliated us." From Cameron, "Babe, please, we need to talk." I let them stew. Cameron came home from work white as a ghost. You ruined me, he whispered. No, I said calmly. I just evened the playing field. He stared at me, eyes full of panic. I don't know what happens next. I don't know how much lower he'll sink. But I do know one thing. They thought they could use me. They thought I would hand over my success like it was nothing. They thought I would always be the nice one. But they forgot one thing. I earned this, and I don't owe them a damn thing. I knew they would be mad. I knew Cameron would panic. But what I didn't expect were the lengths they'd go to get back at me. After draining our joint savings and cutting him off financially, I thought the worst was over. I was wrong. Cameron wasn't just mad. He was desperate. And desperate people do stupid things. For the first few days, Cameron tried to apologize. He'd text, please, let's talk. I never wanted to hurt you. He'd call, leaving voicemails where his voice cracked, saying he'd been pressured by his family and had gone along because he thought it was right. I ignored him. I needed space to think. On the third day, he showed up at my office. He looked like hell, unshaven, bags under his eyes. He hadn't slept, hadn't eaten. He was losing it. Can we just talk? He pleaded. Just 5 minutes. I stepped outside, arms crossed. Go ahead. I made a mistake, he said. I know that now. I should have defended you. I should have told them no. But it's over now, right? We can fix this. I shook my head. No, Cameron, you can fix this. I'm done. His face changed. Gone was the desperate, apologetic husband. He gritted his teeth. You're making a mistake, he said, voice low, almost a whisper. You think you can just walk away and leave me with nothing? I raised an eyebrow. I didn't leave you with nothing. I left you with exactly what you earned. His hands clenched into fists. You'll regret this. I turned to walk back inside. I doubt it. A week passed. I thought maybe he'd given up. I should have known better. One morning, my boss called me into his office. He looked concerned. Hey, he said, shutting the door. I got an anonymous email about you. Thought you should see it. He turned his monitor toward me and my blood ran cold. There on the screen was an email filled with outrageous lies about me. That I was stealing company funds. That I was emotionally unstable. That I had lied on my resume to get the promotion. Every line was a carefully crafted attack on my credibility. The email ended with, I thought you should know before you trust her with any major responsibilities. I knew exactly who sent it. My boss leaned back. This is clearly bullshit, he said. But I need to ask, do you know who might be behind this? I swallowed my anger. Yeah, I do. That night I got a text from Paisley. You thought you were untouchable? Watch your back, bye. Duh. So this wasn't just Cameron. This was all of them. They wanted to ruin me. First they tried to take my money. Now they wanted to take my career. They weren't prepared for what I was about to do next. I called a lawyer. I explained everything. The attempted financial manipulation, the threats, the defamation. She listened carefully, taking notes. Then she said something that made me smile for the first time in days. They've already screwed up. Let's make them pay for it. And just like that, the real revenge began. Cameron and his family thought they had me cornered. They thought a few well-placed lies and some intimidation would scare me into submission. They were so sure I'd just roll over. What they didn't know was that I was already 10 steps ahead. Because while they were busy plotting against me, I was laying a trap. After meeting with my lawyer, I wasted no time. The next morning, she drafted defamation cease and desist letters to Cameron and every family member. Every single one of them. His mom, his dad, his sister Paisley, even a cousin who chimed in on Facebook, got served. The moment they realized what was happening, they panicked. Cameron called within minutes. What the hell is this? He yelled into the phone. You're suing us? I'm giving you an opportunity to stop, I said, voice calm. Retract the lies and this doesn't go any further. His voice was pure rage. You wouldn't dare, I smirked. Try me. That same night, I got a call from an unknown number. A woman's voice said, almost nervously, I just thought you should know. Your husband has been cheating on you. I almost laughed. Nice try, Paisley. She hung up immediately. Not even 2 hours later, I got an email from an anonymous account. Subject line, Your husband's secret life. Inside were doctored screenshots of texts between Cameron and a random woman. They were so badly photoshopped that Cameron's name was misspelled in one of them. I forwarded them straight to my lawyer. They're sloppy, she said, almost disappointed, but great for our case. The next morning, my lawyer filed for an official restraining order against Cameron's family. Things were about to get real. 2 days later, Cameron showed up at my apartment, pounding on the door. "Open the door," he yelled. I didn't move. I was already on the phone with the police. They showed up in 5 minutes flat. Cameron was still screaming when they dragged him away. "You think this is over? You think you can destroy me?" As they put him in the squad car, one officer muttered, "You're lucky we got here before he tried anything." I frowned. "What do you mean?" The officer glanced back at the car. "We found a tracker under your vehicle. Someone was watching you." The next morning, my lawyer called. "Do you know why Cameron was so confident he could destroy you?" she asked. I swallowed. "Tell me," she sighed. "Because your name is still tied to one of his debts, and if he defaults, they can come after you for it." My heart dropped. He wasn't just ruining my reputation, he was trying to bury me financially. But he didn't know I had one final move left to play, and when I played it, they'd all regret ever coming for me. Cameron and his family thought they were winning. They tried to take my money. They tried to ruin my reputation. They even tracked my movements. But what they didn't realize was that I had already set their downfall in motion. This wasn't just about revenge anymore. This was about ending it once and for all. After the police found the tracker, I knew I couldn't just sit back and wait. So I hired a private investigator. I wanted dirt, real dirt, and what he found shattered everything. 2 weeks later, I sat in my lawyer's office staring at the file in front of me. It contained bank records, hidden debts, fraudulent transactions, proof of tax evasion, credit fraud, money laundering. And at the center of it all, Cameron and his family. They weren't just leeching off me, they were committing financial fraud. The biggest shock? Cameron had taken out a secret loan in my name. I felt my blood turn to ice. "Can we prove this?" I asked, my voice dangerously calm. My lawyer nodded. "We can do more than that. We can take them down." I didn't confront Cameron right away. I waited. I wanted all of them in the same place. Then I made my move. Hannah was hosting a family dinner. I knew they were planning another ambush, probably a last-ditch attempt to intimidate me. So I played along. I arrived calm, composed, smiling. Cameron was there. Paisley, their parents, even the uncle. They thought they had the upper hand. They had no idea what was coming. Hannah smiled, her voice sickly sweet. "We're so glad you came, honey. We wanted to talk about—" "I know about the loan." Silence. The room froze. Cameron's face went pale. "I know you stole my identity to get it," I continued, tossing a folder onto the table. "And I know you committed fraud," Cameron stammered. What? No, you don't understand." "I understand perfectly." Then I dropped the next bomb. "I also know about the tax fraud." Hannah's fork clattered onto her plate. I looked right at her. "You've been lying on your returns for years, shifting money, hiding assets. Do you really think the IRS won't be interested?" Tom turned bright red. "You little bitch," he snarled. "You think you're so smart? You don't know what you're talking about." I smiled. "Oh, but I do. And so do the authorities." The room exploded. Hannah started screaming at Tom. Tom turned on Cameron. "What did you do?" Cameron lost it. "It wasn't just me, it was all of us," he shouted. "Mom, Dad, Paisley, you all knew." Paisley's mouth dropped open. "You idiot," she hissed. "You're going to get us arrested." Hannah burst into tears. "How could you do this to us?" she sobbed. "We're your family." I stood up. "You wanted to take everything from me," I said. "Now you get to lose everything." The next morning, my lawyer filed charges: fraud, identity theft, financial crimes. Then I called the IRS. Within weeks, Cameron's family was under investigation. Their bank accounts frozen, their assets seized, their cozy life gone. Cameron tried to beg me to drop it. He showed up at my office, crying. "Please," he whispered. "They'll send me to jail." I looked him in the eye. "You should have thought about that before you betrayed me." Then I walked away. Cameron lost everything: his job, his home, his future. His parents drowned in debt and legal fees. Paisley faced her own fraud charges. And me? I got everything I deserved. My career thrived. I was finally free. They thought they could destroy me. Instead, they destroyed themselves. And I walked away without a scratch.